Welcome to the 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships from Buffalo, New York. Great action throughout the first couple days of this tournament. Game 2 in day 2 as you look inside Harbor Center on the 5th floor, adjoining to the home of the National Hockey League's Buffalo Sabres, and there are some of the Canadians in support for this one. The Canadians taking on Norway. An important match in Group A as the Norwegian fans also in attendance. Both teams with victories in day 1. And the Canadians with an absolute scoring rout over the Japanese, 17-0. And Corbin Watson recording himself a shutout in that one. A different route of travel for the Norwegians to get to today. They record a win over the Czech Republic in game day 1. As there you see the standings, both of these sides undefeated so far, and the Czech Republic now with a win, and Japan as well. As you look at the officials looking on, and Justin Green, the American, in charge today. Nick Bradshaw on the line, and Yul Hahn as well in charge for this one. And the referees also having a camp and getting themselves prepared here for these World Championships. My name is Brent Pope, and alongside me, the expert commentating from a former world champion himself twice and a gold medal Paralympian for the American men's ice sledge hockey team, Taylor Lipsitz. Taylor, we've had a great tournament so far. This one in game day 2, match 2, an interesting prospect between two undefeated teams. The Canadians, though, recording that top line of Billy Bridges, and just to give everyone an idea, Greg Westlake and Pat Bowden, 20 points between the three of them over the Japanese in game day 1. And is there an answer from the Norwegians to take on that dynamic trio from the Canadian side?
Definitely one of the top lines in the world, and the Norwegians are going to have to do all they can just to clog up the middle of the ice and not let that top line kind of have their way in the offensive zone. But a real treat here today with the Norwegians taking on Canada. This is actually a rematch of the bronze medal game from Sochi, Russia just a year ago. Canada edged out Norway in that game, claiming the bronze medal, and pushed Norway off the podium for the first time since the sport started competing in World Championships and the Paralympics. So a big game here today for both teams, trying to get a hold of that #1 seed in the group, and we'll see how things turn out here shortly.
Espen Hedge looking on, the Norwegian coach, and there's Ken Babby in charge of the Canadians, a new Canadian coach, and he'll have felt good. He put that trio together that was just so incredible, and you talk about how that line of Bowden, Bridges, and Westlake had played together a lot traditionally, but then now had kind of been broken up, and he changed it a little bit throughout the game as well against the Japanese. But Rempel and Dixon on the blue line to start this one. Corbin Watson gets to start a goal, and those three players together again, Westlake, Bridges, and Bowden, and they were a handful. They were involved in 12 goals scored in that first period of play. And Babby looking on, and he knows it's an important match. Equally, everybody had a chance to look at each other in game day 1. And now this is a real important match just to see what sort of second gear that the Canadians have. This is the Norwegians, and back Hamar was great in goal yesterday. Let up that long one off the stick of Mikael Geyer, but then he had some good work and support from him in front. Espen Hedge, a new coach, the assistant coach for the team when they were in Sochi, Russia just over a year ago for the Paralympics, but now he's in charge as we get ourselves ready for this. Both teams have assembled, and the American official ready, as we are too. Hope you are wherever you're watching around the world. You're most welcome to the 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships from Buffalo, New York. Both teams just a little bit longer to get to that center ice face-off circle. And now Bridges will saddle up against Pedersen. And Pedersen and Bridges, no strangers to each other. Neither are these two sides, as they have a real sort of distaste for each other going back to Vancouver 2010, the Paralympics, when Norway was actually able to get themselves a tremendous victory over the Canadians on home soil.
Yeah, Norway took the bronze medal right out of the hands of the Canadians in Vancouver, scoring a goal late in the game. So Canada got a little retribution in Sochi, Russia, but the Canadians still defending world champions here at this tournament. So they're trying to defend their own gold medal right now.
Good work in collision. Klake taking Bowden right off of his skates there. And the Norwegians will go back and they play a very stern and very studied defensive game. They don't give up much. They don't take a lot of chances. That's a big hit. Rempel just catching Solberg as he come across the line there. But they play what we would say is a very good, fundamental, strong game. And they like to play a puck possession game and like to be physical as well to the Norwegians.
Definitely. That's definitely more their style is focusing on accurate passing and putting the puck to an area and letting the player skate into it, whereas the Canadian game is much more focused around speed, physicality, and really just overpowering the opposition.
Dorian, McGregor, and Delaney out here. Dorian, number 7, on the puck. He just tries to chip it into the center ice area for Delaney. Delaney will scoop it up and turn around and fire. Now there's a little window for McGregor, and he just fires one hard past the right post. Missed it by pretty good distance, but some good pace on that first shot from the Canadians. Going wide, the Norwegians a little bit floundering to get themselves control of this puck. And look at him skate here, up and through. It's Varnes who will then make the diagonal jump into the Canadian defensive zone. Arsenault immediately is met with the forecheck from Hamra, and Whitson will go back for Canada. He has got the feet taken right up underneath him. The sled knocked over, but this is Delaney, number 10, up that left wing, powering to the neutral zone. He'll chip it in, and a couple of his line mates go off. McGregor will follow it up and look to finish a check. He does. It's so important. That first forechecker. Penalty, though, coming up on the play to the Canadians.
Norway with a chance here to maybe take advantage of an extra skater, but it doesn't look like Hamar is going to be able to get to the bench in time.
Watson comes out and elects to play that puck. There's no purpose to let it go and be an icing, because as soon as the whistle was blown, the Canadian player is going to be heading to the penalty box, and there he goes. The alternate captain, McGregor, is going to get penalized for this play. And is that borderline teeing on the play?
It wasn't as much teeing as it was. He just followed through with his elbow towards the end of the hit there. The elbow came up into the face mask of the Norwegian player, and a good elbowing call.
Yep.
A lot of emotion and intensity to start this game off, and that's a normal characteristic of these two teams playing each other.
There you saw Ken Babby just sort of a little bit frustrated by that situation. Westlake is important on this draw. 5 against 4. The Norwegians with the advantage of power play. Face off inside the Canadian zone to do a great job. And that was off the stick of Dixon to get him all the way down the ice and to force the Norwegians back. We talked a little bit before the broadcast today about Pedersen and Westlake have really got a real ongoing battle between these two old stags that like to lock the horns when they compete against each other.
Yeah, Westlake loves getting under the skin of Pedersen, and for some reason Pedersen lets him do it quite a bit, so they always have a good battle going on within the game. So we'll see what kind of tactics Westlake and the Canadians kind of enforce here and see what the Norwegian can do to combat it.
Odin Bakke across, and they are working well. They're just working on this first power play opportunity. Bakke in and down low, back to Pedersen. Pedersen surveying what is available to him. He hasn't really got a passing lane, but he takes a sharp angled shot there. Corbin Watson stays tight to the post, and he takes it in the midsection, covers it up quickly, but maybe a little bit of a surprise shot. Pedersen trying to catch Watson out.
Pedersen kind of runs himself out of real estate here and takes away his angle, but didn't have a lot of options as far as passes. He could have gone back up to the point, but great job by Watson hugging that post there and not really giving Pedersen anything to shoot at.
We've seen so far how often the shots attempted are actually blocked, and it probably made sense from that position to take the shot rather than going up high again. At least he knew that Corbin Watson was going to be forced to make a save and maybe even forced to make a mistake, but the Norwegians will keep this power play alive inside the zone. Jacobsen up and over, and the arm extended almost like the Statue of Liberty there with the big torch going up. Watson catching that one hand and following the puck right into the webbing of his catcher bet.
Jacobsen maybe trying to catch Watson a little off guard there with a little floater over the top of everybody, but Watson did a good job of seeing over everyone's helmets and tracking that puck right down.
Pedersen, who will be all over the ice today, takes the face-off. It's Dixon who will get collection of it. He'll wrap it around off the face-off win from Bridges. They'll battle for it again, and on second effort, this is dangerous. Right in on, and we've seen those long-distance shot, and the save made there by Hamar in goal for Norway.
Great play on the puck there from Hamar. Just tracking it all the way down, settling it down for his defenseman, and now the Norwegians are back on the attack on the power play.
Jacobsen, the offload. Pedersen will pick it up and come across the offensive blue line with speed. He's in a trouble spot there for the Canadians. And he does get himself a little bit awkwardly having to shoot across his body. His right hand, the preferred one, but Corbin Watson tracks it well, post to post, and he quickly regroups as he makes an important save.
The Canadian defender did a good job of forcing Pedersen out wide there and really took away his angle. He didn't have much of a shot, couldn't quite get it up high enough to really test Watson, and little shove there, letting the Norwegian forward know he's not going to take any touches today.
Watson, you see, doing his own defensive work there as he almost, as you say, muscles the Norwegian forward back, and now 15 seconds remaining in his penalty kill for Canes, and wow, that is some pretty impressive long distance sending of the puck down the ice by Dixon from Canada as it's right on goal, and that may well have broken the back of his power play opportunity for Norway.
Yeah, they got a little jumbled up down there behind their net. So good kill for Canada on the penalty right there. Now they'll look to go back to work.
Into space, the Norwegians will come forward. Is this potentially an icing? I think Rempel, it gets waved off as he's able to track it down before it gets to the goal line. And the work now, Westlake touching up out. He's got a lot of room over there, and he'll take it. He's got Bridges down the right-hand side. Can they find an angle? They do. Bridges is alone here for Canada, and a save by Hamar, a massive one. Westlake is the night, too, and that's a real momentum shifter for the Norwegians because those guys were unstoppable yesterday.
Great play by Hamar to get that puck and shuffle it to the corner out of trouble. Good job by the Norwegian defense to really clog up the shooting lane there.
Bridges still looking for an answer coming up behind the goal. He's logging it through into the middle. It's Westlake he's intended to get the pass to, but he can't complete it. And this time, the Canadians will keep it in Dixon. More offensive to Bridges. Bridges is dangerous from here. They're going to have trouble stopping it. Barna gets there in time. Great Norwegian defense to cut down the Canadian maple just in time before he was going to send it upstairs.
That's the exact kind of stance Norway needed early on in this game, just to give themselves some confidence so they know that they can hang with that top line from Canada, and now they'll look to counter.
Bogla to the wide side. Norway will just cross ice, dump it in, forcing back this Canadian defense around. It's Bridges. Dixon can't get to it. Delaney arrives. There's a collision, and Dixon more offensive in game day 2 than he was in game day 1. He's going to take it across the line. He's going to beat it. He's going to keep going. Oh my goodness. Kevin Dixon just ties the Norwegian defense in the knots. And he goes right, left, and back again, and in and out like a fiddler's elbow. It's right through Hamar in the Norwegian goal.
Perfect display of Whitson's control of the puck in his hand. He actually just timed the shot perfectly for when the Norwegian player came in and checked him. He shot it right around the back of him. Pretty much used the check as a screen on Hamar there, and I don't think Hamar even saw the puck coming.
Adam Dixon, who just comes across the offensive blue line, takes his own forward momentum, and the finish is in style, low and hard, and under the sled of the Norwegian keeper, and Dixon on the board. He led the Canadians in the Paralympics in goal scoring, and it's going to be an unassisted goal at 5:37, going to 11, Adam Dixon, and one to watch for Canada coming out of that defensive position and creating the offense here to open up the scoring today.
Great job by Whitson to recognize that opportunity. It actually all started back in this defensive zone when two Norwegian players got caught up with each other at the blue line. He recognized that they were tied up and decided to jump in on the offensive play and took it all the way down, and great job capitalizing on the scoring chance.
Dixon, second of the tournament. He got credit for a goal against the Japanese as well. There was so many goals in that game. It was off of one of the players in front, but he did get recorded the credit, and that's his second goal in as many games as now the Norwegians are in behind their own nets, and they'll work to now make their way down and through the neutral zone. They'll come up and support. The Canadians are back in good numbers, though. They've got a strong formation of 5 players. Makes it difficult to break through with a whole lot of speed. Whitson now is back. Westlake, haven't seen a lot of Westlake yet offensively, but he's drawn a penalty on the play, and now we'll see the Canadian power play as a result of that hit.
Saw Pedersen there just get a little too eager on that hit on Westlake. They have a history, and Westlake's going to come talk to him and tell him to bring it. Just a little bit too high on the elbow there. This is a kind of stuff you see from Pedersen and Westlake every time they play each other. History goes back a lot of years, and I don't think either one of them forget much.
And Westlake, as we saw, actually delivering a message to Pedersen, who's in the box for 2 minutes or less. Canada had the lead 1-0 over Norway in game day 2. You're looking at Rolf Einar Pedersen in the Norwegian penalty box. He is allowing the Canadians on a power play as it being a little too exuberant, finishing his hit on Greg Westlake, and Westlake now with the puck on his stick, Bowden on the blue line for Canada. And they will size up exactly how they want to approach this, and it looks like a pretty considered approach as Dixon has got a defender in his shooting lane. He'll rotate back at Bowden, who can shoot with the left hand and the right. Backside play to Westlake, and that is as simple a finish as you're going to see, and a classy pass from Bowden down to Westlake. And Westlake, no doubt, will remind Pedersen about thank you for the easy opportunity to score as those two continue to lock horns.
That top line again just showing you, the capability of what can happen when you let the puck do the work. Not a lot of skating from the forwards there, but just perfect puck work, passes tape to tape, and Dixon drops it off to Bowden. Bowden finds Westlake on the offside, just wide open net for him to put the puck in.
Excellent service to Westlake, and Westlake knows exactly how to eat from there as he puts it home and buries a second goal for the Canadians on the power play. And Westlake, he's got his 6th goal of this tournament already, his 9th point. Incredible. And assist on the play to Dixon and to Bowden. Also looking back on the first goal to Dixon today, an assist going to Delaney and Dorian on the play, and another penalty now coming up.
It looks like Sorley just got his hand up. He was trying to catch the Norwegian forward or defenseman Klockhag with the shoulder, but he shifted direction at the last second. He had no choice but to reach out with a hand to try to slow him up. That's another one of those things about the double amputees. They can make shifts in their direction at such a short notice that you have to react quickly, and sometimes, unfortunately, you have to take the penalty.
And he'll sit down for 2 minutes or less. 3 shots in the first power play opportunity for Norway today. And they are 0 for 1. Pedersen in for this face-off, and now he'll go up against Dixon as Bridges is removed. The puck is dropped. Klockhag immediately supports the play. He's got an option, a shot from there, and it is hit on one of the defenders. It goes to a safe place for the Canadians, fortunately for them. And again, Dixon really loving the long down on these penalty kills, and he shows exactly his strength, and it can equally be an offensive weapon if he gets close enough, as the Norwegians will just corral themselves in behind their own goal line and now look to make themselves offensively capable as they'll come through this neutral zone. They're moving well. Back A, dropping it off. Pedersen, as he got a lane here to shoot. He will from the outside. Corbin Watson punches it out with a blocker, and it will get outside of the defensive zone of the Canadians. And a good penalty kill move there from Corbin Watson.
Great job squaring himself up to the shooter. Didn't really give Pedersen much to look at.
Back A, high in the slot area. Delaney will get there first. Delaney just finds enough room around the Norwegian, and it's inside of a minute now on the power play for Norway. They really need to create some momentum on this opportunity just to not allow the Canadians to get away from them.
Yeah, if they could cut the lead in half here, it would really give them some good momentum, and it would also kind of put a dampener on the Canadian momentum that they've garnered here in the first half.
Dixon again, the man to play it down the majority of the ice, and it will force the Norwegians to have to regroup. They'll end up just in front of their own goal here. Dangerous with Westlake snipping around for any sort of loose play and any mishandle, and Westlake will gobble it right up as they continue to put pressure. McGregor making sure that it gets down to safety, and the Canadians have pretty well broken the back of this power play for Norway.
Yeah, the penalty killers here for the Canadians all over Norway, really hemming them in their own end here.
Bogla releases it. A last ditch opportunity. Varnes, it's a good shot. It goes wide. And Watson is a long ways out. Varnes with some good tempo on the shot. The penalty is now over. Sorely back on the ice. It's 5-on-5. And a good attempt from Varnes just to see if he couldn't test Corbin Watson as he came across the line. The Norwegians working well. They've got the man advantage in the corner there, waiting for it to come up. And Whitson has just got a log jam over there, not allowing any freedom of movement for Norway to come out of this corner. And it's lost a little bit of gusto, but he's doing an effective job on the Canadian defense.
A little surprising that the Canadians are letting Whitson battle by himself. He was outnumbered there 2-1, and even 3-1 for a moment.
Bridges into an area to try to win this puck back. Varnes, who took that shot a moment ago, is waiting and watching to see which route Bridges wants to go. Good little overlap now from Norway. A confident move. You want to make certain that that's linked up together because you've got Bridges sniffing any opportunity that's made available. Arsenault up to Bowden. Bowden is skating well. He's going to take the room. He's going to go. He might shoot from here. Bowden up and over, and it's over the glove, and it's goal of the Norwegians. Samar tries to get a piece of it.
Couldn't quite tell if he got a little piece of the glove on it, but nonetheless over the net, and he dodged the bullet there. Bowden, one of the hardest players to track down and knock off the puck.
Nordstoga provides the service up onto this Norwegian left wing, and they play it. It is waved off, no icing against him. Rempel across to Dixon already, who has scored in this one. Delaney takes it a little bit, almost over skating it, gets himself reset and balanced, and he'll move it across to Rempel. Through this neutral zone, Rempel's got a lot of space here, a few options. He draws a couple Norwegian defenders towards him. He's still going strong. He'll turn back, tries to get it to the defense, and it was McGregor replacing him on the Canadian blue line. They still are in possession of this puck, though, Canada, and they're behind the Norwegian goal, working to get a passing lane. Here now is their space to get to a good position. Delaney will just offload it, give it to McGregor. McGregor's hit hard by Klakeg on the far boards, and Pedersen will come and tidy up.
Norway doing a good job of keeping Canada to the outside. They're having a hard time getting out of their zone just because of the speed of the Canadian forecheckers.
Canadians spreading themselves well in this Norwegian defensive zone. They've won it back. It goes to Dixon. He will shoot from there if you give him a lane. He offloads it to Dorian. Dorian will shoot too. They're slowly building up here, and you sense the Canadians are on the verge of maybe scoring a third. Delaney, long shift for him. They'll continue to battle. Klake will win it back, and McGregor has the puck land on his stick again. And it's like a magnet right now, that puck to the Canadian sticks as they work and weave in and around this Norwegian defense.
Just cycling down low.
Oh my goodness. That is a shot there from as tight an angle as you're going to see. And when you hear it go off the post like that, it is sweet music for the offensive team as McGregor is ringing the chimes, and as he said, a third goal in the cards, and they convert.
Unbelievable shot from an impossible angle, it looked like, from McGregor here. We'll see him below the goal line. He just walks out a bit. And just from about 2 feet over the goal line, puts it top shelf on the far side over Hamar's glove.
Great shooting, and to see it across the body as well. I think Hamar's surprised that not only that was on, that maybe he had misjudged his angle there, but such a tight angle and such a confident finish from McGregor.
Definitely a world-class goal from the young Canadian.
The Canadians do get themselves a third. It will go to McGregor, and the assist to Delaney is second of the tournament for McGregor, right at 12 minutes. And the shot advantage, 10 shots now for Canada. It's a 4 from Norway. And this game quickly slipping away from the Norwegians. And we look back at that penalty and that exchange between Westlake and Pedersen, allowing the opportunity for that second goal. And how much of a momentum shift does that contribute to this game so far?
That was definitely a mistake by Pedersen. It was only a 1-goal game at the time. Norway had some good chances, and they were doing a good job keeping up with that top Canadian line, but just a poor penalty to take in the offensive zone, and Canada capitalized on the power play, went up 2 goals, and kind of took the wind out of the sails of the Norwegians here. And now with the third goal, they've got a steep hill to climb here.
You're listening to Taylor Lipson, the 2-time gold medal Paralympian of the U.S. men's ice sledge hockey team. And if you have any questions here, please do get in touch And Twitter handle for Taylor at USA Sled Sniper 7. That's USASLED number 7. And Taylor will do his best to answer your questions wherever you're watching. We invite you to get in touch with us here in Buffalo, New York for these World Championships in 2015. An outstanding performance by the Canadians right here in this opening period against the Norwegians. Arsenault plays it in, and there you see the shots on goal. Canada 10-4 the advantage, and they are in a strong position as the seconds count down inside this first period. We talk about Twitter handles as well. Even the IPC, the International Paralympic Committee, ISH. So at IPC ISH as it goes to Odin Bakke as well. Get involved and enjoy this tremendous competition with these world-class sides. Pedersen will just play it in behind the Canadian goal, and he forces Arsenault to go a long distance to get it. And it'll be Sorley who doesn't quite get it cleanly. He does, though. He battles for it in those trenches, as I like to refer to them, as such important areas to win the puck back and to get it out of the defensive blue line.
You talk to any coach in the game of hockey, and they'll tell you that that's where games are won and lost, is in the trenches. Whoever outworks the other team, whoever wins those battles along the boards, that's oftentimes where scoring chances generate from. And so far today, Canada's been winning the battles.
Good work by Norway. They'll just slowly build up. We're inside of a minute and a half remaining in this first period. And, oh my, Solberg almost cuts his man in half with that hit. Pedersen with the puck. That's where you want to see it if you're Norway. He's looking for an option. The pass is there. Bow reads it like a book, and Westlake is going to raise it. I think Westlake can create daylight. He can get on a breakaway here. A late change, a kind of an awkward one for the Norwegians. Westlake is there, and right off the button of Hamar. Bowden gets it back for Canada, and this Three Musketeers line for Canada are menacing anytime they have possession in the offensive zone. And the Norwegians just enough of a break here, maybe to get themselves settled again, as Westlake really could have had a breakaway, almost did, but what a save by Hamar.
Great save by Hamar. Kluckeg actually made a good recognition.
Off the post, Bowden off the post again, and the red light's on, and I don't think that's in. I think it went off the left post and off the right post, and Norway have done enough just to keep the score line at 3 at the moment.
The goalpost helping Hamar there out a little bit, 2 times in a matter of seconds. Going back to that breakaway chance for Westlake. Oh, here's the shots off the post.
And right post, that is the response from Bowden, and it's Bridges going across in front of the Norwegian goal. It almost looked like he's playing defense there, but he was going across so quickly and aggressively as the puck caromed off one post and then arrived with Bowden to then shoot it back again. And twice lucky was Hamar with the post, and twice blessed. He certainly has been seeing all sorts of rubber and action in that Norwegian goal in this first period. And can they get out of it with only a 3-goal spread? They try there, McGregor, the feed to Dorian. And now the Norwegians will get their first. It's lofted to a good area, but they'll take it an icing, it looks like, here with this long clearance. And a face-off for Canada inside the Norwegian zone here. And possibly a set play could give them even further advantage.
They'll definitely come back here at their #1 line. You can see the shot from Westlake here. Switches to his left hand, just off the post, out the far side, and then the rebound was collected and shot back on them to go off the other post. Again, Hamar getting lucky there, but Canada's going to try to score something here off the faceoff.
It's worked around. Norway will get an opportunity to get touched. What a collision again as bodies colliding in the zone. It's a hot pocket shot coming in from Bridges, and he is comfortable shooting it anywhere, particularly when he's balanced. Almost the power of the shot there is enough to score, even though it's right at Hamar. Almost forces and grinds away into that Norwegian goal, but Bogla playing physical, and both sides enjoy that brand of hockey.
Most definitely. It's more characteristic of the Canadian game, but back to Billy. He's got one of the hardest shots in the world, and like you said, he can put it pretty much wherever he wants it, especially if he's uncontested.
Finally, the alignment for the Norwegians late arriving to this face-off. Bridge is trying to win it. He makes it back. A shot here for Dixon late. It's up, and there's a great save, and that's going to finish the first period there. And you see really the world-class shooting of the Canadians there, and it is actually saved in the end by the Norwegians. But 3.3 seconds to win it back, to get it to Dixon, and Dixon might have been pressed just to get that if it was going to find the top half of the net in time. But let's watch this again.
It was a good play. Bridges just pulled it right back to the defenseman. Great shot by Dixon on net. Hamar tracked it all the way into the glove. Great save.
Great work by both teams. A lot of pace in game day 2, match 2 in Group A. And that man there, Hamar, certainly seeing most of the activity in that opening 15 minutes. Tremendous work, though, from the Canadians as they get on the board, first of all, from Dixon. Then it's Westlake, and then it's McGregor. 3-0 Canada after the first period. You're watching the 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships.
It takes one to challenge a winning team. It takes two captains to championship team win because the play is won. And the league spoils the championship in character and then bullying. When bullying happens on the team, there's no one just the victim. The whole team suffers. So take a stand against bullying. Don't do it, don't ignore it, and don't follow.
Welcome back to Harbor Center in downtown Buffalo, New York. The 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships. I'm Brent Open, joined alongside by me is our expert commentator, Taylor Lipsitz, and a twice world champion himself and two-time gold medalist. And again, if you have questions here for us in Buffalo at USA Sled Sniper 7, that's USASLED SNIPER 7. And that's Taylor Lipsitz's personal Twitter handle as we look back on the first period stats and the 3-0 scoreline currently to the advantage for Canada.
Yeah, they've really dominated the game so far in the first period, outshooting Norway 13-4, 7-0 on the scoring chances. Not much coming from Norway, and also dominating the face-off circle, 9-7 right now, and 1-for-1 on the power play to Norway is 0-for-2. So making the most of every chance they've gotten so far.
And let's have a little look at that first period there in the open to scoring. Watch this play again from Dixon.
Just using the defenseman of Norway as a screen in front of Hamar. Just did a good job reading the play there.
Pedersen with the outside shot coming in. Such a strong, formidable player, Clackegg. Some good work by Corbin Watson to keep that clean sheet in that first period. And this is on the power play. Bout down to Wesley.
Really just tic-tac-toe for those guys. They work so well together. And on this one, you see Tyler McGregor battle down low and then just walk out from below the goal line with an impossible angle out of the corner there and just put it far post.
Westlake with a good shot as well, right on the button, Hamar. And then Westlake goes from right hand to left. Westlake leading his tournament, and then that was the double barrel off the post, left and right. The Canadians again threatening to score late in that first period.
Hamar got a little lucky there and able to keep the goals, just 3 for the period. And like you see here, Dixon with the first goal of the game, followed up by Westlake on the power play, and McGregor coming from behind the net to put it far post to give Canada a 3-0 lead.
And they were good for their money, the Canadians. They had an incredible performance of offensive scoring power in day one against the Japanese. And Hamar, well, he did his job. He looked very capable of dealing with some of the hot shots coming in from Canada. And Corbin Watson doing his job as well with the Canadians, just a little bit too much in situations. Westlake locking horns again with his old rival Pedersen as he looks on to start this second period in Canada. 13 shots to 4, the advantage as Pedersen is getting final clarification from the referee. We're about to start in the second period of game day 2, match number 2 here in Group A at the World Championships in the Harbor Center, a fabulous facility in Buffalo. Canada in red, taking on Norway in white. The puck is dropped and Bridges knocks Pedersen down, and he does a little hokey pokey and spins himself around as Norway across the line. And he'll make a shot there. It's a good one, up and over the bar. As the Norwegian player is able to keep it in, Salberg with a quick shot, it banks in. And here comes Dixon to try and get collection of this puck. Odebake with a great forecheck though. Bowden will just pick it up and lays it off for Bridges. Bridges a powerful man. The offload, and there's a good hit from Westlake just to return the favor.
Good pressure by Norway so far. Just trying to put a body on the Canadians in their own zone. Trying to create a turnover and a little back and forth action going here at the beginning of the second period.
Good play, outstretched, kind of a difficult one to make there for Rempel. He's outstretched and almost the angle is a little bit further than he was anticipating, and fortunate not to have injury on the play.
Yeah, he knew the hit was coming, but just tried to protect himself enough not to take a sled to the chest, and made a good play on the puck.
Battling again at these difficult areas on the ice, those blue lines dividing the ice into 3 zones. Pedersen just carving, waiting, watching, long shot in. That's not a shot. It's actually a dump intended for the Norwegians to get to it first, but quickly the Canadian defense get back and support. They have a line change going right now for Norway, and this is always the difficult part, the second period. It's a longer change for both teams because of their benches and where they're located.
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes you get caught off sides on rushing up the ice in the offensive zone because of where the benches are. But here Norway's trying to establish some pressure in the Canadian zone.
A battle. There's 5 Canadians back. They do their best to just force this Norwegian side. And Nordstoga will give it up here. Westlake, oh, that's a pretty slippery looking move. Westlake, this is Dixon. is the final intended man to take it in, and that's Dixon, who's just as capable as is Westlake. They both have scored today already. McGregor coming across, playing the body, and they will continue to battle in those difficult areas along the boards. Final line change for Norway coming out onto the ice, and that is Hamra, as Dixon will go back to collect it for Canada.
You can just see how comfortable Dixon is handling the puck in the defensive zone and the offensive zone. He just brings a sense of calmness to the rush, and great under pressure, and another great chance for Canada.
Delaney been involved in the scoring so far. He'll twist and turn, almost spinning himself out of that trouble block. Haven't seen a lot of Kieran block today, but it's a good hit coming into that forecheck. And Shola Mickey now will go to the other side.
Does seem as though Canada is going with a little bit of a shorter bench today. Big hit by Hamra in the middle of the ice there, and now Norway countering. Shola Mickey did a good job back checking to create a dump in here, giving Whitson an opportunity to go back and collect the puck for Canada.
Good battling, and again, that physical pressure, and that's what this sport is all about, using the body and your sled as well alongside as an extension of your body to win the puck back, to separate the man from the puck, as Klakeg will arrive back, and he knows that Shola Mickey is coming, and he elects just to let it go.
Yeah, talking about the sled there, actually a Twitter question came in from Staler111 about if there's any other rules in sled hockey that aren't in other forms of hockey, and one of them is teeing, the teeing penalty, where you use the front of your sled as a battering ram against an opponent. That is not allowed, and is actually the only additional penalty in sled hockey that you won't see in stand-up hockey.
Great to have the questions coming in, and we are right here on hand. That's what it's all about. The 21st century social media is so great to be interactive with those that are watching this fantastic sport. Like you said, wherever you are in the world, you're most welcome here today. I'm Brent Pope, and alongside me, a real expert in the sport of ice sledge hockey, twice a world champion and two-time a gold medal Paralympian, Taylor Lipsitz. And Taylor coming up from Texas to be here in Buffalo for this tournament. And let's utilize his insight and perspective on this fantastic sport. And really, Sochi was huge for the emergence of the sport, particularly here in the States. And then to have the World Championship following here. Long shot there, going wide. Klakeg will be the first one to get it. Bridges is on. But to have it follow up here and to have these World Championships on American soil is a great platform to continually raise the profile of the sport. Yeah,
the exposure that the sport had, courtesy of NBC in Sochi last year, really opened people's eyes, not just in the Paralympic community, but U.S.-wide. You know, we had people stop us in airports and just at NHL games saying, hey, we watched you guys on the TV when you guys played Russia for the gold medal. Great game, really impressive. So just the exposure that it's gained has opened the eyes of the sport and the Paralympic movement to a lot of people in the U.S. and around the world. So to have the World Championships here just a year later, just helping further that exposure and get people excited about the sport.
It's a great rush here from the Canadians, and look at them come up there. They're three abreast into a lane. That is Dixon. Dixon will go to the net. Bridges is going to give the service to him. Touched on, and Dixon almost a little bit unlucky to get it redirected into that open side. Bowden off the bar. And they love to keep it high, and they've done it 3 times already. Off both posts, and now the crossbar.
Hamar must be living right. That's 3 posts in the game so far today. So he's given up 3 goals, but he's going to be kissing those posts in between each period, I think.
Bowden, and that's a great line. Living right, you're right. You've got to make your own breaks for yourself, and to have a little bit of luck, it's Rempel who will take control for it for Canada. He'll step into a pocket, a shot there, goes off the defender. I think it gets through there to Hamar. Hamar now scratching around to find that loose puck. He gets it, and with 9:29 remaining in the second period, it's been pretty consistent as we've dropped the puck for this second period.
Yeah, Hamar doing a good job of finding the puck around his defenseman. It did. The shot from Bowden did get through right here off the post like we were talking about, 3rd time. And that's 2nd shot from Bowden that's gone off the post. So 2 shots in a row for him. He's probably getting a little frustrated. But Hamar doing a good job of cutting down the angles for the shooters and finding the puck through his defenseman to keep the score 3-0 here early on.
Canada still with pressure in the second period to 3-0 up. You're watching the Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships. Interesting question as you're looking at the Canadian bench as well. Just talking about the facilities here in Buffalo. How do they compare to some of the other world-class facilities that you've played in here? As we get ready to drop the puck, and we'll give the opportunity for Taylor to answer that here. And things happen so quick though sometimes. The puck gets dropped in these zones the way the Canadians are. But this facility for myself, my hometown is in Hamilton, Ontario. And so just over an hour here to Buffalo. And I thought I should have known of this Harbor Center. It just seemed like a real logical fit. But this particular complex, I've been nothing but impressed with it so far.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable facility, and from the get-go of the planning of construction, one of their goals here was to make sure that it was sledge hockey accessible. So a lot of events, leading up to this moment and hosting the World Championships in a great facility here. It's got a nice old barn feel with the wooden roof and the rafters here, and even wooden benches for the seating all the way around. So just a cool old hockey feel, and like I said, the rink is fully sled accessible in the benches and the penalty boxes. The glass, the plexiglass there has replaced the whiteboard, so the players on the bench can observe the play, and guys can get on and on the ice just as quickly as you see in stand-up hockey.
And for those that are just tuning in for the first time, this facility is adjoined by a bridge that will take you across to the home of the Buffalo Sabres in the First Niagara Center here, right on the Niagara River, just coming across the Canadian-American border right here on the 49th parallel. And a real hockey hotbed in America for the sport and for all ice sports. They've already had the women's under-18s championships here in January. They only opened up in late October of 2014. And if you're in the area and you love sport and you love what's going on at all levels, this really has it all.
Yeah, this is a great facility, and the great people that are working here. They've nothing but first-class amenities and taking care of all the teams. Really top-tier staff they have here.
Bridges is dangerous from here. Westlake will come around. He almost bulldozes over Hamar, and that probably would have counted. He was just his normal momentum. That was the route that he had carved through. Hamar, though, does enough just to deny the Canadians increasing their lead. It's this line again, as you say, shortening the bench a little bit. The intended from Bridges up to Westlake does not connect. It'll go for icing. The shots now the advantage, 16-4 for the Canadians. But what a save by Hamar.
This is a great stand by Hamar. He knew Westlake was coming in all alone. He wasn't going to have much help, and he just puts his arm out there to kind of poke check the puck away, took the contact there, didn't flinch one bit. He knew he was going to have to take the contact and make the save, and he did his job right there. Great save.
Outstanding and very resilient inside that Norwegian goal. Hamar has been a big victory in game day 1 over the Czech Republic, now in top against the Canadians. And there you see 4-1 the advantage. The Canadians over Norway in shots so far in this contest. They'll battle to try and get it out of their own zone. Bridges is out there. Westlake, they're searching to find the puck. They've just given it up though really here. Westlake now in Bowden, potentially a 2-on-1. Bowden has gone really wide. Westlake throws on the brakes, and it's Bridges who will come and pick up. Bridges is going to find a route. Look at this here. Oh my, has he made it look easy? And that is as simple as that, as he puts it home, and Bridges just dumps it in for Canada. And he really linked that play together. It looked as though it had fallen apart, and then Bridges did exactly that and finished in style.
Yeah, you see him make a perfect read there on Hamar, the goaltender. Once he beats the defender by the circle here, you'll see him dip his shoulder, fake the shot, gets the goalie to drop down, and once the goalie drops down, he's already committed, and Bridges is able to just go right around him and just push the puck in on the ice. Great read by Bridges.
It certainly was. He had more moves than a bucket of worms. He threw the old head fake on him, and twice he had Norstoga on the first head fake. And then Hamar, he gave him the shimmy shake. And next thing you know, it's in the back of the net again for Canada.
Really tough for goalies to be able to recover once they commit and go down. Because once they go down, then they have to use both hands to get back up, which opens up the top of the net. So really limiting his ability to save any kind of shot there from Billy once he went down.
7:05 of the second period. It's the 4th Canadian goal. It's scored by Billy Bridges, his 4th of the tournament. The assist to Westlake. And we talk about these players here, just updating our tournament stats and scoring. And they sit all 3 of them at the top right now. And it's led by Westlake, and then Bowden and Bridges are 1, 2, and 3. as they continue to attack the top of the scoring leading charts here at Rempel. And they've played in Sholomicki and Clark and Sorley. A good line out here. Interesting, though, as we pose the question as Pedersen will take this possession through the neutral zone now. 4 Canadians are back. This is good work, though, from Sahlberg. Over the top, Corbin Watson will protect it, but the Canadians going with that heavy line. But in a tournament like this, when you're playing as many games in short days, you have to have balance and you've got to have your whole depth. But here is Kieran Block, who have played in banking, and Sholomicki immediately on it. Good energy here. Oh, Sorley really would want to have done better than that in front. He was wide open.
Not quite sure he was ready for that one-timer right there, but that top line for Canada, not just leading scorers in this tournament in the first 2 days here, but leading scorers for Team Canada in the history of the sport, in the program, and top 3 scorers in the history of the sport as well.
They are that good, and that's the question, though, isn't it, for Canada? Yes, they are defending world champions. They didn't get it done as they might have wished to have got it done in Sochi just over a year ago. And this coming back in the Will State, big hit coming in there as Hamra. Are they deep enough and good enough to compete against the top lines from the Americans, maybe the Russians as well? Well, that's what this tournament's all about, to see over this 7-8 days in Buffalo as to who will in fact leave here as titles world champion 2015. McGregor, look at him, just knock his man down, and he was quick to whack him right to the ice as he, again, this is Dorian, who immediately employing the forecheck for Canada.
McGregor, one of my players to watch for the tournament. He's one of the newer faces on Team Canada, but he plays with a lot of passion. He's got, the desire to win and to excel in this sport, and he does a great job taking advantage of a turnover right here, push the puck on net. He's got a couple goals on the tournament so far and just plays really hard. Fast skater, takes the body every chance he gets. Just the perfect style Canadian sled hockey player.
He's tenacious and he loves to compete, and I think that's the most notable thing. Look at that here from Arsenault as he, well, just, it's effectively a dump in, but it's high and up over Hamar in the Norwegian goal. Canada, again, coming out with that #1 unit of Bridges, Westlake, and Bowden. Here they will come, though, Norway. An opportunity to go into the offensive zone with possession, and this is Westlake who'll come back. He's seeing what his options are wide side. A good hot pass across the Bowden. Bowden's got Bridges in support. He's got to carve across that line, not to go offside. This is Bowden trying to get around right to left. He prefers that right-handed shot. Can he come out and dunk it? Can he go to the backhand? Oh boy, it's the old flick of the wrist up on the backhand, and he was looking for a little bit of a favorable rub in the green there to bank it in.
Almost took advantage of Hamar committing to the near side here and couldn't quite get around the corner there to get the backhand up over Hamar's shoulder. But once again, this line just dominating the Norwegians. Just not much you can do when the players can pass so accurately. Big hit by Jacobson right there on Westlake.
And it was high, but nothing called on the play as we are closing down on 4 minutes remaining in the second period, and we haven't really had many face-offs in the second period. Again, though, we've had a couple of questions, which has been great for people to get some insight. A penalty coming up against Canada, a delayed power play. Oh, tucks it underneath him there, Klakeg. He's got a couple Canadians, though, to meet him at the pass, and they're finally touched. As we await this penalty, we'll remind our viewers watching, send your tweets in to Taylor Lipset as we look back here at the penalty actually called on the play. Oh, Westlake is high and hard, and that's the reason why he's going to the box and being the referee calling it at USA Sled Sniper 7. That's USA SLED SNIPER 7 to Taylor Lipset, who is our expert commentator at these World Championships in Buffalo. And Norway 0 for 2 on the power play, 4 shots. They got to build themselves to get themselves on the board here with this opportunity. While we're on the topic of Twitter handles, you will also see as the play will go around the boards, the Twitter handle of the International Paralympic Committee. It's at IPC ISH, so IPC Ice Sledge Hockey. That is the Twitter handle. Send it into there as well, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. It just creates more interaction between those that want to know about this great sport as it's won by Norway. Klakeg, it's in. Corbin Watson, isn't that a shot in a while, has he?
No, I want to say that's maybe only the second shot of the period for the Norwegians, but Watson doing a good job staying in the game, keeping his head focused. We see here just clock egg on the point, able to fight through the Canadian forechecker there and get a shot on net, and Watson tracks it down to the glove.
And interesting, that powerhouse line for Canada actually out there as well in a defensive situation too. So Bowden will take this draw. Bridges is out there, and we're just looking at all. There is Dixon, who's already scored today as well. So really interesting. Rempel there, number 5 on the right-hand side. The use of these key players from Canada in both offensive and defensive situations.
Yeah, they're really going to ride their best players all weekend. You see a change here. Dorian coming out for Bridges. Dorian is actually a penalty kill specialist for Canada and has been for a long time. He's really quick, and he's kind of like a pest out there. He's got no give up in him. He does a good job of really making the most of this chance to clear the puck out of the zone and create problems for the opponent.
Pedersen just went wide there, and he was in a better position. I thought he could have got a little bit more on it, but here he is again. He's a threat left-hand shot. This time it's low and hard. Dixon will take it. Dixon can clear from there, and there you see exactly the example, and that is even a threatening shot from there, from just outside of his own goal line. All it takes is one bounce on a bad piece of ice, and that's over the glove hand of Amar inside the Norwegian goal. But nonetheless, the power play continues for Norway. They will work here and support the play. Pedersen wide side across. They will be able to skate over it back, and this is Delaney tries to get to it, and it just sort of cues out of there and squirts down now behind the Canadian goal. And immediately again, it's Dixon who has got that fantastic clearance, and it really is kind of fun to watch as he lost it down.
He can hit the net from anywhere, either side of his own zone, behind the net. It doesn't matter. He's got enough velocity on that shot to put it right in the middle of the net. And you could hear possibly when the puck hit Hamar's stick how hard it was still going, even after it traveled 200 feet.
Well, you have to, and often they say as well, passing it harder makes you more accurate, and he really shoots it hard. And it's been right on the money every time. In this situation, there's no icing because they're shorthanded. He's got it again, and Dixon will just go down the ice. And he, more than any player I've seen in this tournament thus far, is that capable of just one strike and down the ice, and that will break the back of the Norwegian power play again.
Yeah, Dixon, one of the top 3 defensemen in the world, without a doubt. And you're kind of seeing why he's got that title here today.
Across the line, they need to be careful not to go offside here. Almost stripped there. It's underneath the sled. Westlake and Pedersen meeting up again. As Westlake comes out of the box, he's in play. This is into an area for Pedersen to cycle back onto it. The long play up, it connects. This is looking good, but it's that third pass they can't link together. Arsenault back for Canada, drawing one of the Norwegians close to him, but in numbers they have support, and they will battle here now. Shola Mickey out here. This is this line giving some energy, and certainly good two-way hockey players. Whitson to take it as well. Good little move there to avoid the real power of the Norwegians closing down. And this is just played into. It's a smart decision by Sorley just to get it into an area, and Shola Mickey can go and just grind down this Norwegian defense.
Canada doing a good job of using all their lines here late in this second period. Like you said, just grinding through the period, wearing the Norwegians down, and consequently they'll keep getting scoring chances as the Norwegians get more and more tired.
40 seconds remaining in this second period. He'll come out, and now a skate race as Sorley will hunt down his man. They decide just to reverse it. It's a good decision, that one. They've supported this breakout well, the Norwegians. This is some good skating opportunity here, some space, but Kieran Block always getting a body on you, getting a piece of you, not allowing you to go uncontested through much area of the ice out there.
Yeah, hitting definitely one of Block's fortes. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of one of those one time and ended up with a broken leg, actually, back in 2012, but definitely a physical player.
And it's not every day You draw a comparison to a player, and actually he broke your leg.
He broke my leg 2 months before the 2012 World Championships. I actually had to play in a lower leg cast.
Unreal. As we've seen another strong period of play from the Canadians. They will leave after 30 minutes 4-0 up. But ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching, take advantage here. Taylor Lipson alongside me at USA Sled Sniper 7. Bring your questions to the table or at IPC ISH. We've got lots more to share with you with a third period coming up. Canada in firm control after 2 periods.
If you're not already connected, be sure to follow USA Hockey on Facebook and Twitter to get the inside scoop about everything hockey. As the United States strives to be the best internationally, the USA Hockey Foundation is committed to helping the United States reach the top through increased participation opportunities, world-class training programs, and financial assistance. To learn more about how donations help hockey in the United States, visit usahockeyfoundation.com. Looking to take your athletic performance to the next level? Stop by and check out our state-of-the-art facility and take one of our coaches while you're here at Carver Center. Also, ask about our summer program for youth and high school athletes. Impact is located at level 6 down the hall on the ice side. For more information, visit carvercenter.com/impact.
Welcome back to Buffalo 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships, and you're looking at the Harbor Center on the 5th floor of this fabulous complex here in downtown Buffalo, and right here in the heartland of ice hockey across the states. As you look at this one here, we are ahead of the third period. Canada 4-0 up at the moment, Taylor.
Yeah, Canada all over Norway in the second period there. Outshooting Norway 20-5, scoring chances 11-1. Norway is getting some decent face-off win percentages, but overall, Canada just too much for Norway thus far in the game. 1-for-1 on the power play. We'll go through the highlights here of the second period.
Some good work, some good body contact. Westlake getting involved, and a big collision there. Remember calling back Rempel, opening himself up there. Kieran blocked, one to watch as well. Bowden goes off the crossbar. Bridges the service down to Westlake. Thought he was going to score there. What a save by Hamar, but look at the icky shake there from Bridges as he bangs it home for the Canadian and the Canadian side. And this was a great chance by Sorty in front too. He really will have been disappointed not to have scored.
Hamar did a great job in that period, keeping Norway in the game. Not much on the offensive side for Norway, but that goal by Billy Bridges was just a goal scorer's goal. Nice shoulder fake, head fake, waltzed around the goalie and just put it in the back of the net. Not much you can do.
You were looking at Corbin Watson, who is still in goal for Canada. He has a clean sheet to his credit in day one over the Japanese, and currently in the driver's seat here now, up 4-0. There's Bridges with the lone goal in that second period, the assist to Bowden, and 2 of the 3 that really provide all of the offensive punch for this Canadian side. The 3 all-time leaders in the Ice Sledge Hockey Canadian program, and they are something else. They continue to get it done, that lineup, and they are still together. Corbin Watson still in goal as well.
Got a good question come in on Twitter from Kim McGrill, actually from the UK. She's asking, how far do we think we are from seeing women's sledge hockey at the Paralympics? Great question, and there's actually been huge strides within the last year in women's sledge hockey. The first international sanctioned event was just held this past season up in Canada between Team Europe, Team Canada, and Team USA. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be an exhibition sport in Korea in 2018, and really hoping by 2022 that we've got a full sanctioned women's tournament with medals and all.
And there you have it. Everything starts with a seed, doesn't it? As Ken Babby looking on, and this tournament right here in Buffalo, building on the momentum created in Sochi just over 12 months ago. And they will continue to build as we are seconds away for the puck drop. Pedersen all smiles. Good to see. I'm sure he's not happy with the scoreline at the moment as these 2 old Warriors lock horns once again. As we're just waiting for everybody to saddle up and not get the jump start on the puck drop. It is underway though for this third period. Rempel actually has it taken right off him. Here he comes, though, Bridges, and he just needs a little bit. He really takes off in those first few strides, doesn't he, to get it separation from those trying to mark him.
A lot of quick acceleration power that you see it from a lot of the great skaters. Bridges, Bowden, Westlake, they all 3 have it. Just one of the things that separates them from the rest of the world.
That's a great play. It's a one-time feed, and the shot from Bridges doesn't get all of it. Goes wide on the near side, and immediately the Canadians are employing this forecheck, looking for more. Out to Westlake. Oh, he doesn't take it. Westlake, it had been difficult for him to take that on the left hand as the puck was coming from the right, and it will go down the length of the ice, and Norway elect to give themselves a breather. And Westlake, who is currently leading this tournament in scoring, he is the man with a plan. 6 goals, 3 assists, and we're not even done. 2 games for Canada in these World Championships, and it really is off the back of that incredible start in the first period against Japan in game day 1.
He's definitely a man on a mission, wearing the C for Canada. He takes a lot of pride in that position, being captain, and he's really got his team focused here and doing exactly what Coach Babby expects of his guys.
Puck is won by Norway. They do enough to get it out to the neutral zone, but not any farther than that. They'll go back and be pinned in. As here comes McGregor. He'll be the first one in the forecheck, and it's just showing you a little bit of the conditioning of the Canadians to get in on that forecheck first, get to the puck first. It'll come out to Hamar. And again, he looks just to settle things down. But Delaney is one as well, an energized player who likes to play at both ends of the rink. He's one to watch too, as he's just nicely creeping up to number 4 in overall scoring in the tournament so far.
Yeah, we talk a lot about that top line of Canada, but they've got some younger guys such as Delaney coming up through the ranks that have actually come up from their development program that has made his way onto the national team, and as you can see, making an impact.
Dorian just whips one right across the face of goal. And Hamra is the one to get to it first immediately. Delaney, physical, and he uses that to his advantage. Not only does he have speed, but he engages all the time. And it's difficult sometimes to get in and to scoop the puck up cleanly. You really do have to play the body in order to, the majority of the time, win those 50-50 puck competitions.
Most coaches are going to tell the first guy into a battle along the boards to take the body of their opponent, and then a support player, the second guy, to come in and worry about picking up the puck.
Is back onto the blue line here. Nostoga, a good old solid veteran for the Norwegians, sees it back, and it's into the Canadian end zone. Arsenault is right there to arrive. He is met, though, and McGregor, he gets hit hard by Hammer. McGregor, though, just finding that puck underneath the sled, and that could be a difficult part, too, when your hands are down and you're trying to find that puck, and particularly when the stick blades come in.
Yeah, that's exactly why that second guy, as you see Arsenault come in from behind, the second guy in picking up the puck, because once you're crammed up in there with another player, you don't have a lot of movement for your arms, so it is tough to really dig it out of there, which is why you want that guy to come support.
Look at Delaney. He is flying up that left side. He realized that he kind of was outnumbered, and he just chips it in the corner, goes for a line change, and the Canadians are really rolling over their lines now.
Yeah, doing a good job of getting everybody involved here. Coach Babby really looks like he's trying to get his guys into a rhythm that they can carry over into the next few games of the tournament here and into the medal round.
And Bout with the puck now. He is ever clever with movement as he navigates a route. Westlake just a little too surging up and over the line, and he gets across. But there's Brad Bowden. You talk about him. He was one of those guys for you to watch in this tournament, and he's already got himself 9 points.
I would say Brad Bowden's probably one of the top 3 players in the history of the game, not just in this tournament with the stats that you see there, 3 goals and 6 assists, but just his ability to maneuver with the puck, his skating, positioning, just all-around hockey knowledge and performance on the ice. It really just makes him hard to defend against.
And interestingly, Bowden actually played wheelchair basketball ahead of now becoming a sledge hockey player.
One of the few Paralympians worldwide to win a gold medal in 2 different sports, one in the summer and one in the Winter Paralympics.
And this is Dixon to get it in for Canada, as the aforementioned Bowden is on that puck like white on rice, as he puts it across, trying to pass it to Bridges, and Dixon just can't quite hold it in, and that's the one thing you see. They're just so resurgent and resilient and just relentless are the Canadians, continuing to put pressure on this Norwegian defense.
They're able to really rely on their speed, so their defensemen have no problem just dumping it into the defensive or the offensive zone and letting their forwards get in there and dig it out.
Bowden again, weaving. Look at this play to Solomicki. Oh, Solomicki. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. But it didn't go in as it goes wide to the left side.
Great chance from Solomicki right there, set up once again by Bowden. Unfortunately, just couldn't get a handle on it on his backhand there, but good shot for the rookie.
And Solomicki, great to watch him. I love watching him play. He's got great energy and spirit. Here is Rempel, though. He's got support.
Time for redemption.
Here he comes. Solomicki is denied this time, too, and now there's a little bit of fun in it. Can he get a goal on a 3rd time of asking? Here he is on the puck for Canada. We'll go back to the blue line. Kieran Block. These are energy players, youngsters. Solomicki now one more time goes, and it's wide this time. Didn't quite have the angle, nor did he have the balance really to get himself set on that one. As they continue to respond, Norway, it's almost like a rubber band. You pull enough and then they recoil and come back the other way. Here's Norway just leaving it across the line, kept in, well done. And it's a great shot from Jacobson from the blue line. And good work by the Norwegians to come right back.
Way to gain entrance into the zone here, and I think that shot might have gone off the shin pad of Sorley, but a good job by the Norwegians to get in the zone and get a good shot on net.
And they are locked up over in front of the referee. You see he's right on top of the play. And some great work as it develops, and Pedersen will serve it over to Clackegg. Clackegg with a shot. There's Corbin Watson. He's protecting that goose egg in the Norwegian score tally on the scoreboard. Sholomicki again, and you kind of almost want to see, he's forgotten something. He's kind of left the scene without the most important bit. He left it with the diamonds as Clackegg will find a way. Here's Sholomicki just advancing it on to Sorley, and here they go one more time. The great work done by the Canadians just to get another line change as Kieran Block will force forward with the forecheck.
Kieran Block will just go in and put pressure on the Norwegians to allow his line mates to change, and now he'll head to the bench to complete the change.
Good hit. McGregor has forced a turnover inside of the Norwegian defensive zone. A penalty now being called. There you see it's a slashing coming up, and it's going to be against the Norwegians as you see McGregor really wincing in pain. Great work by Canada. They are still 4-0 up at the Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships in Buffalo.
Here we see the penalty, and Solberg probably just getting a little frustrated, a little swing of the pick end of the stick. Just see there a little swing of the picks at the helmet of McGregor. Definitely not allowed. You're not allowed to use those picks as a weapon, and you definitely can't get them up by the face. It's the player's responsibility to always be in control of his sticks, and especially the pick end.
Canadians on the power play, they're 1 for 1. They bring out the dynamic trio, and it'll be Bowden back on the blue line with Dixon. There you see him, and he can do it all from that angle position. Dixon is the man with control here to start, and he'll just size up exactly how they want to set it up. Bridges, he can score from there. He's going down low to Westlake. He looks to carry him in. It's a backhand effort from McGregor. He's now battling in the corner. He gets some support from Bridges. And Bowden is now down low. Out front here, McGregor trying to bank it. He actually slips it right through and under the defenders. Quickly though, Bowden, speed on the play, and it goes back to Dixon. And he'll look again. The calm before the storm coming up. You can sense that the Canadians are wanting a fifth here in this sequence. As it is Westlake who will take possession. And they just continue just to almost draw this Norwegian defense out with the purpose of opening up a passing lane. They almost found it there. As it's Bridges now at the top.
They're really not forcing anything, but really working on their power play alignment. Something that I'm sure Ken Babby has them working on in practices, and taking the opportunity to really practice it in a game situation, because special teams can be crucial later on in the tournament, especially when we get to the medal rounds.
It's those little things that make a difference, as you say, between winning gold, silver, bronze, or being outside the medal round. A shot from a tight angle, an awkward one. Hamar does well enough to control it, though, as Canada will settle it down here. They've still got 43 seconds left as we look at Billy Bridges, and again, he is another world-class player, and one of the three we're talking about. 4 goals, 3 assists in the tournament so far, and he will be key if Canada are to win a medal, and of which color.
He's the most tenured player on the Canadian sledge hockey team. I believe he's been on the national team since he was 14 years old. So he's been on the team for a long time. He's been to 4 Paralympics, I believe it is. So a great career, great sled hockey player.
Key face-off for Canada with the second wave on this power play attempt as they are closing in on the last half of this third period in the match. Arsenault now with control. He was going to go to Whitson. He elects to do a 360 and coils back on himself here. It'll go to Whitson now. Whitson waiting to see which is going to work best for him. He can't quite complete the pass intended down for Dorian, and Dorian will get it back now. He'll wait, and on that half wall position, it really is interesting where the prime positions are on these power plays. They look for that diagonal or really sort of that cross-ice feed, but I guess it's always different because it's so difficult to break down that defensive formation. Dorian will go up and over. He sees enough daylight there. He intends to go high at the net, but he misses. And the seconds are gone, and 5-on-5 again as Solberg comes out for Norway.
Norway doing a good job of clogging up the middle, taking away that cross-ice diagonal pass that you were just referencing. But that's definitely one of the more difficult things in sledge hockey to defend against, because unlike stand-up hockey where you can just skate backwards to recover, in sledge hockey you have to make a complete turnaround to get back in position. So they're trying to draw the defenders out of position, and then when a lane opens up, attack it, pass it across, and try to get a shot on net.
It's such a relevant point, isn't it, and cannot be overstated. The whole issue of not being able to skate backwards, and you know, you talk about that with stand-up hockey, as you refer, that it is equally as instructed, more so for defensemen than forwards, but having to be able to skate backwards, a stick goes flying, and this has now been broken up again by Westlake. Sorely really getting sort of separated from his own equipment there with a big collision in center ice.
Norway doing a good job of collecting the puck in their zone and breaking it out. Still not giving up in this game. It's good to see Norway still trying to work and play their game, really focusing on puck possession, accurate passing. It's just too much to keep up with Canada for them today.
It's important, though, as you say, in these sort of underlying components of how they're playing, things that they need to take care of in their own sort of game to make certain, and they can't always control obviously who they play, but they can control how they play, particularly breaking out of their own zone, and they need to support that play. Here they come, and it is the trio of Canadians as Bridges gets hit hard, and the dynamic 3 stars from Canada. Bridges would go off. I don't know if he got a little hurt on the play there. He hit hard.
I think he's all right. I think he's just a little tired. Let some of the younger guys have a chance to get out there and make some plays.
McGregor is the one holding it for Canada. He goes from right to left. He's hit at the end. Klakag, who likes to play a physical brand of hockey, makes sure that his momentum is no further. As Norway now just trying to find a route out of their own zone. Canada, though, having fun. They have their tails up right now, and it's enjoyable playing with the lead, particularly when you can play defense in an offensive zone. It's Rempel, who is back now for Canada. A little bit of a cross block coming in from Dixon. Delaney on his flank. There is 4 abreast here for Canada, and McGregor is taken off the play, but he just chips it in for Dorian, and first man at the scene again is Delaney, and he's drawn 2 Norwegian defenders on the play.
Just shows you the strength that the young player has to fend off 2 checks from the Canadians and get the puck out in front of the net for a shot on goal.
And another one of those shots that is just ripping off the glass behind the goal. And really the pet peeve of most of these coaches, I'm sure, that how many times those players, well, they elevate it to get it past all the defenders in front, but the trajectory of the shot is such that it never arrives. Well, not never, but it is more often than the coach would want to see, missing high and up over the net.
Yeah, the follow-through in sledge hockey is extremely important because the angle that the players are shooting from is much lower into the ice. So if you follow through and bring the blade of the stick up towards the opposite shoulder on your follow-through, the puck is going to go over the net and hit the glass. The key is to really follow through and point the tip of the stick where you want the puck to go and roll that wrist over.
Some great insight, and the same mechanics really, obviously, for the sport of stand-up hockey. But you talk about the angle in which the shot is released from and the extension, because the sticks are so much shorter, and so therefore the follow-through is that much more crucial.
One of the more impressive facts about sledge hockey is that the top shooters in the world can shoot over 60 miles an hour, but these short sledge hockey sticks don't flex like the stand-up hockey sticks, where you see the players put all their weight on them, and then the stick kind of reacts and whips sort of when they lift up on it, creating a hard shot. So the fact that these guys can shoot 60 miles an hour with one hand and a stick that doesn't flex is pretty impressive, and that's why you're not going to find me ever playing goalie.
Sholomicki is out there, and the goalies, no doubt, as they are in the sport, as they are in most, they are a different breed, and you have to be of a different sort of line of thinking to stand as a way of some of the, well, the punishment that the Canadians have been able to inflict today. But Hamar is taking it quite comfortably. He's been beaten when he's been beaten, but it's not as though he's been almost worn out like the situation was for the Japanese goaltender in the day one competition against Canada.
Yeah, despite giving up 4 goals, he's done really well. And I mean, just like you just said, 17 goals for Canada yesterday against Japan. So the fact that Norway's held them to only 4 here today just tells you how well Hamar's actually played.
Mickey with the big hit on Klakeg. And Klakeg is probably the one most notable player on the defense for Norway who likes to play physical. Mickey just kind of left him upended and without his sticks and what you might call a yard sale. He was without anything really, kind of just floundering out of his sled. And he just kind of made a little bit of a point there that I tallied you all day. You continue to finish your hits, and I'm going to take one right on you when the referee's not looking. But this is Norway looking to come out, and they will move it cross ice. Good diagonal pass. They've got some momentum behind this. Bogla and Corbin Watson, for the first time in a while, was almost had a shot on goal and asked the question, but immediately the Canadians come back in a pack. And it's now a sea of red coming up the ice. Westlake crossing Bridges. What Bridges going to do? He's got Dixon to move it to. Dixon is all alone. How is he going to shoot this? How is he going to retrieve it? Bridges! And they score. And maybe it wasn't the clinical finish they wanted, but they had so much advantage with speed and numbers. It was a simple score in the end for Billy Bridges.
Might not make the top 10 on ESPN tonight, but nonetheless, he got the job done. You see Westlake with the chip out of the zone there. He takes the hit. Pushes up to Bridges, just backhands it over to Whitson, fakes a shot, pulls it back to Bridges, and the backhander in.
Just to get it in, and you know, we have a little bit of fun because we see Billy Bridges shoot the puck so hard, so often when he does get an opportunity, and they all count as they say. They don't ask how, they ask how many, and Bridges continues to assault the scoring charts in this tournament. Underway again, Norway. Kirsten to play it in inside of a minute. Corbin Watson will keep it rolling. Arsenault is back. And the seconds counting down, valuable ones. And no doubt Corbin Watson would like to keep that big giant 0 in the Norwegian score column in this game. That will be 2 back-to-back recordings of potentially, and shall I say it, the S word, a shutout. As Canada are in looking good. It is going to be a goal. Billy Bridges, 2nd of the game, 5th of the tournament. Assist to Dixon and Westlake on the play. And all of those top scorers for Canada continuing to make it flow and make it rain as they just come right in and pound against these Norwegians. And 5 goals on the board. Is that kind of what you thought might be the scoreline and the sort of offensive output for today?
Yeah, I think so. I think Norway's done a good job of doing the best they can to keep that top line at bay, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just too much when you're playing against those 3 all on one line together. And for much of the first half of the game, Ken Babby had them playing a short bench, so they were on the ice every other shift and can only hold on for so long.
And you're listening to Taylor Lipset, and he would know, of course, a twice world champion and 2-time gold medal Paralympian, 3 times at the Paralympic Games as well. As Sorley will shoot it wide. And Taylor, of course, of the U.S. men's ice sledge hockey team, now retired, as we look again at the performance of Canada and Corbin Watson doing his job. He had 6 shots in which to manage it. Sometimes, even though it's such a real sort of small amount of shots in comparison to the 23 that the Canadians mounted, just keeping sharp sometimes in games like that is equally a test.
Definitely, and that's one of the challenges that Watson faces being a Canadian goaltender, and Steve Cash as well faces for the Americans. They don't always see a lot of shots, but it's about being sharp when the opponent does get a chance and keeping that puck out of their net.
There you see the handshakes from the respective coaching staffs, and Ken Babby feeling good about the performance so far and very respectful and very friendly. I notice equally, as much as this is the best in the world, there still is a tremendous amount of respect for all of these athletes, and in many ways the pioneers for what now the men's game is becoming. And obviously the question earlier about the ladies game and when we think world championships will be happening for ice sledge hockey for them too. It all starts and it grows from there, and hopefully as well the exposure for this particular tournament will increase that momentum for the women's side of the tournament as well, or the women's side of this sport of ice sledge hockey, as we are getting ourselves ready. Canada, if you've been watching, of course, they're in red. They're on the left-hand side. Norway in white on the right.
We will
and
now
we're
award
awaiting
the players
announcements
of
of
the
the
game
players
for
of the
both
game.
teams,
And for
followed by the
Norway, who would you
national
say?
anthem of Team
I'm
Canada.
probably going to go with
player of the game for
Clockhead,
Team
just
Norway,
because of the
defenseman number
physicality that he brought to the
23,
table today.
Roger
And he had a couple
Puckett.
good shots on goal, and it looks like
And there he comes out.
they did give it to him. Yeah.
And he's they do the
Presenting
roundup as they
the
go
award
down
is
and
Norm
acknowledge
Page from
each
the
other
local
in great
organizing committee.
support and in great sportsmanship. And I really like that. It's a great feature, and as Clackegg will come across, and again, it is Norm Page, the father, and he is also the tournament director here, bringing these
And the player of
championships
the game
to
from Team Canada with
Buffalo
3 points
and the
this
Harbor Center.
afternoon,
And he's the father of
Adam
Adam
Dixon.
Page, sorry, of the U.S. men's ice sledge hockey team, and it's going to be Dixon. Adam Dixon, the left defenseman who started the scoring for Canada to get it. Player of the game.
Definitely an appropriate choice there for the Canadians. He's so stealthy on the back end there and jumps up and takes his chances when the opportunity arises, and today he capitalized on them.
He did, and it's his second goal of this tournament. And we look there as Dixon comes across there. We were talking about the skate blades for players who don't have the skate blades on there and looking at the protection. Well, maybe we'll chat about that in our next broadcast, but we're going to break now for the playing of the Canadian national anthem in acknowledgement of their success in game day 2. Proud salutation and acknowledgement there of the Canadians with their national anthem. Both teams now shaking hands at center ice there, and those are the final stats today, Taylor. The Canadians with a strong performance, 5-0 winners.
Canada dominant all over the stat sheet, 24-6 in shots, 15-2 scoring chances, more even in the face-offs, but just overall too much for the Norwegians to handle, and came away with a 5-0 victory.
We look back on the game. Some great work and some puck control on this play. An individual moment of brilliance from Adam Dixon. He starts the Canadian scoring. McGregor amongst it, all the games involved. This is McGregor's shot, and that was the 3rd goal. And tremendous one. Bridges here, and he made this tremendous play. This was in the 2nd period, and brilliant finishing and brilliant deking. This was Bridges again. Gives it to Dixon. He's wide open. You know Dixon's going to go back to him, and Bridges banks it in. And they continue to score. Corbin Watson with another shutout for Canada. And they're feeling good, the Canadians, even though they're under the watchful eyes of the American Ice Sledge Hockey program. They're taking care of business. 5-0 winners over Norway in game day 2. You've been watching the 2015 IPC Ice Sledge Hockey World Championships. I'm Brett Hope. And for Taylor Lipset, goodbye until next time from Buffalo, New York.